Hey everyone, so today I just wanted to make a quick currency exchange guide just to help you not make huge mistakes and to possibly get a little bit of currency flowing in passively. And you don't need to be a hideout warrior for any of these tips. They usually only take a couple minutes to set up. So the first thing I absolutely have to mention is never sell anything on the currency exchange for Exalts unless it is basic currency. Because if we go to the currency exchange, now this is something that I've covered recently, but I want to dive a little bit deeper into this. You have an expensive soul core. You can insta sell this for 4,300 Exalts. But if you check the value in divines, it's now worth over 6 divines. And a divine is 1,700 Exalts. So if we take out a calculator, 1,700 times 6 is 10,000 Exalts. So with this item specifically, selling it for Exalts would be about 6,000 Exalts less than if you just sold it for divines. Again, this is a tip that I covered previously in a money-making guide, because this is something you could do. It is fairly easy to set up. You have 4,300 Exalts, you type in the number 4,300, you hit place order, and you just wait to see if it purchases. And if it does, profit. But the reason I wanted to mention this again, I really want to stress this, because I purchased this support gem for 6,000 Exalts when it's actually worth 36 divines. I was not expecting that to purchase. The only other Exalt offers were a couple thousand, so I outbid them, and it just sold. Now, I didn't purchase that to make a profit. I'm just trying to collect 2 of every support gem. Don't ask me why. I just like collecting things. So I just wanted to again stress the importance of never selling anything valuable for Exalts. So if you put something up here, I have, and the output is over 1,000 Exalts and it isn't a divine, switch to divines because you're probably going to be losing money. So I'm sharing this again for 2 reasons. 1, so that no one makes this mistake, and 2, because I want all of you doing this because competition is good for the less knowledgeable players who are selling things for Exalts. So we can see I have another offer in for 22,600 Exalts, and I do not want this to purchase. I'm not expecting this to purchase. But what I was able to do is someone was outbidding me, and we just kept outbidding each other. I ran out of Exalts. So the current offer for me is 22,600, but the top offer is 22,660. And if we look at this, after our 2 bids, the price drops again to 5,600 Exalts. So I don't really need the currency. But what I can do, like, I have the power to hold this person hostage, whoever is outbidding me. I can hold them hostage and raise the price of this item so that if another one sells somehow, the seller gets at least 15 divines instead of 4. So I'm just going to keep this offer here. And something else you need to take into account is the gold value of anything that you are trying to purchase, because the seller is going to have to pay that fee. So the chance that one of these enter the game at this stage with a decreasing player count, with Path of Exile 1 starting up soon, while also having 2.7 million gold, while also making the fumble to not bother checking the price in terms of divines, I don't think this happens. But again, I'm just going to keep whoever outbid me hostage. I'm going to keep their Exalts here, so if someone does sell it, at least they're getting a semi-decent price. So again, you can do this with soul cores. Buy for 4,300 Exalts, sell for 6 divines. You can do this with runes, some of these expensive runes. We can see they insta-sell for 6,700 Exalts, which comes to about 4 divines. And then they insta-sell for 6 divines. So you can do this with any number of items that are in semi-short supply. The margins aren't as good on some of the ritual items, but you can check them. And again, once you have the Exalts, like, there's really no reason not to be doing this, because you could just buy Divines 1700 to 1, or you could turn 1700 Exalts into 2 Divines, right? And you just have to set up the offer, and then you can go map. You can go do whatever you want. Again, you don't need to be a dedicated hideout warrior to make some quick flips. The next tip is I want to show you how to open both your stash tab and the currency exchange at the same time. So what you're going to want to do is you want to click on your stash tab, and just before you open it, you want to control click Ang. So we can do this, click, control click, and now both windows are open. And this is so useful for resetting offers if you get into a bidding war, for example. So we can see I only have 220 Exalts right now, so I will put in an offer for 220 Exalts, place the order. Let's say someone outbids me. I can then cancel the order, control right click to move the entire stack, control right click, and it moves it directly to my stash. You don't have to close the window, go to your stash, deposit everything, and then click Ang, go to currency exchange, and just keep repeating that. Gone are the days of doing that. So the next tip is to never pay full price for anything on the currency exchange unless you absolutely need it. I believe I did mention this tip previously, but we can see Divines Insta sell for 1560 Exalts. So you could put in a purchase offer for Divines for 1570 Exalts and you'd be at the top of the list. And then we can see they Insta purchase for 1700 Exalts. So some pretty wide margins on Divines at the moment. So we can see the ratio. There's currently 6 Divines listed for 1550 Exalts, and then they shoot back up to 1710. So yeah, someone just snagged those. So again, if you don't absolutely need the currency or the item or whatever it is you're trying to purchase immediately, slow purchasing will save you dozens of Divines over the course of a league. It adds up. And something else you should always be doing, it's what I'm currently doing, I'm pressing control click and I'm always swapping the windows to see the selling offers and the purchasing offers. I want to see the going rates for both. So never pay full price for anything and always buy in Exalts. Now let's talk about sustaining Exalts, because paying 200,000 gold for only 1500 Exalts, that is a lot. I mean, we can see one of those soul cores, 4300 Exalts, that's 500,000 gold to turn 4300 Exalts into 2 Divines. And then you'd have to either spend a Divine on a Castaway to get that gold back, or you'd have to go to your best friend Rog and buy rares to sell for gold. So the best way to sustain Exalts infinitely, well, nearly infinitely, is to purchase items for Chaos Orbs or Orbs of Annulment and sell them for Exalts. Something that I've been doing recently is we have the Grand Project Precursor Tablet. We can search, and they are going for 15 Chaos Orbs. Chaos Orbs are about 60 Exalts apiece, so that's 900 Exalts worth of Chaos Orbs. I think they're a little bit less actually, so maybe 870 Exalts or so. We can turn our Chaos Orbs into Exalts. So the buyout price for these is about 900 Exalts. We actually profit off turning our Chaos Orbs into Exalts, and then we profit again turning those Exalts into Divines by slow purchasing items off the currency exchange. We can actually take a look at my shop, fairly empty, but if we look at my sales history, the Grand Project Precursor Tablet, 890, we have a bunch over here when they were going for 850. I have been printing Exalts. So combining all of these tips, you go to a hideout, you just purchase a bunch of tablets for Chaos Orbs, for example. You slow sell them in your shop for Exalts, you turn those Exalts into currency exchange offers. So it only takes a couple minutes to set everything up, maybe a couple more to find good things to try flipping. But once everything's set up, you can just do whatever you want. You can go back to mapping, or you could even try crafting, be a 100% hideout warrior. Completely up to you. And I think these are the most valuable tips to really get you started with the currency exchange, so that you could earn a little bit of passive currency while also avoiding huge mistakes. Again, this is the prime example. And I think that's just about everything I wanted to talk about involving the currency exchange and sustaining Exalts. But I will give you a little bit more. You know, I just give away all of my moneymakers for free, by the way. A couple things that I've been flipping recently are Palm of the Dreamer Shrine Scepters. I've been buying these for like 60. Right now they are going down a little bit, but I was purchasing them for like 67, 68 Exalts, the ones that have increased skill effect duration, and then I can usually slow sell those for about 74, 75 Divines. Did I say Exalts? I've been buying these for about 68 Divines, and then I slow sell them for about 74, but only if they have increased skill effect duration. This one actually seems pretty good. Something like this, I think, would sell for probably close to 70 Divines if they go back up. I think they'll probably go back up. Oh, we have another one here. This one isn't too bad. Given the current rate for these, I think this could be flipped for about 65 Divines, about 5 Divines profit. We can also see I sold one for 175 Divines. I did that by accident because I stumbled across one that was listed for like 68 Divines, and it had level 20 impurity. I didn't think that was special at all until I saw that level 20 impurity apparently goes for 170 Divines for some reason. Paying an extra 110 Divines for 8% more Chaos Res? That is crazy. So someone was just selling it for like 68 Divines. I'm just like, sure, I'll buy it. It has increased skill effect duration. And then I'm just like, wait a minute, this is worth 175 Divines? There's no way that sells. There was another one listed for 90 Divines. I didn't buy that one because I'm just like, there's no way these sell. And then someone purchased that one for 90 Divines. And then mine sold for 175, which is just crazy. Actually, the most valuable thing I've ever sold in Path of Exile. I've also been flipping these Last Flame Incense relics a little bit, just like 5 Divines here and there. I buy for 90, maybe 91, and I sell for like in the 95-ish range. And then something else, if you haven't seen the money-making guide, Turn Currency into More Currency, Level 21 skill gems. They are still selling like hotcakes if you want to take advantage of those. Of course, with the league kind of coming to an end, kind of dying down, they might sell a little bit slower, but we can just take a look at, I think Twister is a little down. I mean, that's almost 1 Divine. If you sell for Chaos Orbs, you can probably get a little bit more. Like 35 Chaos Orbs, that's almost 2,000 Exalts. So over a Divine. This is still so profitable to do. So if you haven't already, check out that video as well. I literally give away all of my moneymakers for free. You're welcome. But anyways, I think that is going to do it for today. So as always, everyone, take care.